They are Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin.
Hello everyone! We are the Group 5 and we are about to share to you our discussion in Chapter 6, Continuous Process Improvement. Enjoy! And to start, let us talk about Duran's trilogy. Quality Trilogy was to set Duran's significant contribution in the field of quality management. These are the quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement that aimed at improving quality products and services. And this is how it works. As you can see, quality planning activity starts before the production operation. And this one is the plot of time versus percentage defective, which starts at time 0. Once the process begins, deficiencies in the product will be found and could be as high as 20%. These high defects called as chronic waste region or the cause of the error in the planning process, followed by quality control that will create the sporadic spike of defects in 40% in order to create the original zone of quality control through the help of the last process, which is the quality improvement. And that's it. That's how Duran's trilogy works.
Let us now proceed to the next topic, which is Kaizen. We all know that Kaizen is a Japanese business philosophy about continuous improvement of working practices, personal efficiencies, and etc. Thus, this topic will be involved into two distinct activities, which are maintenance, improvement, or Kaizen itself. There are three basic principles of Kaizen. The first one is the workplace effectiveness, which is about the 5S tools developed by the Japanese, which will be discussed in the latter part of the video, so please keep on tuning in. The next one is the elimination of waste, strain, and discrepancies, or the elimination of the 3 MUS, since all of these costs money. Hence, these must be reduced and finally eliminated. Lastly, Kaizen also stresses on the standardization of processes, machineries, materials, and etc. with their various objectives. The next one is Kaizen implementation.
So, what is the Kaizen implementation? So, this will happen through embracing Kaizen in two ways, which is the gradual improvement of processes and Kaizen blitz. The improvement process involved all the discussed tools in previous lesson, like QC tools for problem solving, 5S tools for reorganizing workplaces for effectiveness, and eliminating the 3 MUS, which all of it shows long-term exercise improvement. Meanwhile, Kaizen Blitz, also known as the Kaizen Workshop, which targets particularly workplace, is a quick improvement methodology. It is used to unleash employee creativity to improve operations overnight. Usually, this method completes improvement process in a single week wherein solutions are implemented quickly. A typical improvement process using Kaizen is like this. With that, let us further elaborate the mentioned 5S earlier.
What is this 5S practices? The Kaizen toolbox includes 5S for improving workplace effectiveness. These are seri, which means sort or to separate out all unnecessary things and eliminate them, which can be classified into 3 categories, namely low, medium, high usage. The next S stands for seiran or strainen, wherein it arranges the essential things in order so that they can be easily assessed. Seiran can be done using 3 steps. The first step is plan to arrange neatly. The second is decide where things should be stored. And the last step is be consistent in following rules.
To continue, let us now proceed to the last 3S. The third S is seisu or scrub, wherein this one is about keeping machinery and working environments clean. While the fourth S stands for seiketsu or systemize, which means making cleaning and checking as a routine process. And lastly, the fifth S, which is the shiketsu or standardize, that is simply means to standardize the previous 4 steps, wherein discipline should be observed because discipline is the fundamental requirement of success in the organization. And that's it. That's the 5 practices that will bring the organization to improvement and definitely to success.
Now, let us move on to the next topic, which is 7 deadly waste. is overproduction waste. This happens due to failure of production planning when money is blocked in the unsold products. When there is a change in requirements and many copies were not sold, organizations need to be closed down. The second one is the waste due to waiting. This can occur when a product that is nearly finished but cannot be completed and shipped because of waiting for a particular part to arrive from another country is an example of waste in WIP. And it can happen in any stage of manufacturing due to poor planning. Next is transportation. Transportation is a waste if it is unnecessary. To prevent that, every assembly line should be under one roof.
And to continue, let us proceed to number 4, which is the processing waste. To prevent this kind of waste, machinery should be kept smooth working condition by periodic and preventive maintenance because once the process is held up due to breakdown, money is lost. Next is inventory waste. It can occur due to poor housekeeping because it can lead into valuable items lying on some cupboards unnoticed. Hence, every part should be accounted to avoid this inventory waste. The sixth one is the waste of motion. This can be happen when workers are not trained in their job properly, wherein there will be a lot of motion but no work at all. Hence, a lot of motion was wasted because there is only few output. Now, we are down to the last one, which is the product defects. The defective parts of supplies cause loss of money, hence eliminating scrap through zero defects is the only solution on this problem.
Now, let us proceed to the next topic, which is the Business Processor Engineering or BPR.
So what is this BPR all about?
What is BPR? BPR is undertaken essentially to result in a quantum jump in performance of processes. BPR is synonymous with innovation because it is more than just automating or applying information technology to the existing processes or operations. It will bring benefits to all stakeholders of the organization. Very high achievements are expected out of BPR. For instance, expectations are as high as 50% reduction in design cycle time in case of R&D projects, 60 to 80% reduction in total cost of manufacture, reduction of delivery time from a month to a day. BPR exploits the unexploited potentials of the organizations.
Next is fundamental rethinking. So what is fundamental rethinking? It is a dramatic improvement that can take place through elimination of redundant operation, unnecessary operations, and operation, which add cost but not value to the product and services. Next is the radical redesign. This dramatic improvement cannot be achieved only through fundamental rethinking. It calls for design of new processes. Some service organizations take 15 days to respond to an inquiry through fax. This is mainly because of the redundant system established in the organization. Therefore, in order to reply to a query in half an hour time, the redundant process that inhibit quick action and need unnecessary approvals, etc. should be dispensed with.
And now we are done to our last discussion, and this is about how to carry out re-engineering. The steps involved in BPR are similar to those in TQM. However, in re-engineering, much bigger results are expected and not incremental improvements. The 5 phases of re-engineering cycle are 1. Planning, 2. Process study, 3. Study of the best practices, 4. Redesign, and 5. Implementation. The cycle repeats itself whenever the management wants dramatic improvements in the performance of the organization.
And that's it. That wraps up our Chapter 6 Continuous Improvement. I hope you all enjoyed our discussion and learned something from it. And we are the Group 5 saying thank you to all of you.